Beautiful. Beautiful.
Over there, in the caravan.
I see. I want Adam Strange with us on this one.
Why me, Sergeant? I'm delighted to see you anytime, day or night. But you're the one who's always hollering, "Get Strange off my toes, Superintendent. This is a Scotland Yard job."
Hands.
Oh, hands. I still don't see why you come knocking on my door.
Well, you're the expert, aren't you? Digits and palms, a 10-finger exercise in behavioral detection.
So you finally got round to reading my book.
I finally got past the title, but I'm right up on your magazine articles. I liked very much that last one. I really liked it.
All about the strangler with the spatula thumbs.
Got me all choked up, too.
For a cop, you're a lot of laughs today, Graves. Yeah, you're doing fine, too, you Minnesota misfit. Well, come on, Sergeant. What have you got in that envelope? Show me. Something else amusing?
Photographs. And not very amusing.
That's not funny at all, is it?
No.
Well, hands, you say. Which one, left hand, right hand?
Ah, not hers. A drawing found near the body.
Well, it's not a Rembrandt.
Oh, it's what you might call a rigid work of art, isn't it? Wide wrist, bought it at the base, tremor here, here.
Meaning?
Meaning that the artist, whoever, was probably both tense and emotionally unstable.
What about this, this thing on the palm?
Well, it's some sort of a symbol, isn't it? It's old, basic. I don't know, it could be druidic. I'd have to check.
You have any idea who she is, Sarge?
Well, there was a laundry mark in her dress. Brinkley's working on it now. We should have a line on her soon enough. As a matter of fact, Professor Marks should be finishing his look-see at any time. Join me, Strange.
I'd like to.
Hey, yeah, I'll get my coat, if it's okay with you.
Hello, chaps. Can I come in?
Evie.
My debut at the oven. It's absolutely loaded down with peach jam. Tons of it.
Is that why you're tilting?
Never mind. Don't put your fingers in it. It's not the sort of eat it the same day kind of cake. It's got to meld.
And meld it shall. Ham, keep your hands off. Evelyn, this is Detective Sergeant Graves.
Hello.
Graves is Evelyn McLean, model, artist, and incipient cake master. Evelyn lives in the flat across the hall. Come on.
Hey, wait for me, huh?
Yeah, hurry up. Oh, Evie.
Hey, don't you like my cake?
I think it looks wonderful.
You don't?
I can't wait for you to get back into your kitchen and bake another. And then another. But before that, I've got a little job for you.
It'll cost you, Adam.
I'm prepared for the worst. Name your price.
Paintbrushes. 6, number 10. Sable.
Done. Get over to the London Library, browse around, and bring me back anything you can find on Druids and Druidic culture. Right?
Right.
Good girl.
Death by poisoning, gentlemen. The victim drank a glass of champagne, non-vintage, sometime last night before midnight. The champagne had been peppered with palthite, quite vintage.
Palthite?
Yes. The gay toxic, as it is known in certain quarters. It puts one into a blissful state of euphoria while it eats away slowly at the system.
Could be a suicide, Professor.
No, it's homicide. Take note of the side of the neck, those scratches, rather severe. Probably inflicted at the moment she realized she'd been poisoned.
Sir, any chance of analyzing those scratch marks for us?
Well, I would like to oblige you, Sergeant, but I promise I'll take Mrs. Marks to the matinee this afternoon, the first time in ages. Evelyn will help you out.
Yeah, let me have another look. But while you're about it, Ham, you might get a swab and analyze this, whatever it is, on her forehead.
Is that oil? Odd marking.
Yeah, I will.
At our lab, please. We do have a couple of technicians who might be of some small help. It's still a yard case.
But of course, Graves. I'm very sorry. You came to me for hands, and here I am trying to take over the whole show.
Brinkley, did you get anything?
The girl. Her name was Anne Finch, and we've got an address.
Did you know Anne Finch well, Miss Hewitt?
No, not really.
According to your landlady, you arranged to get the deceased a flat here about 3 weeks ago. Is that right?
Yes, the room next door. We met at work. We're both with... Anne was with AVL in the drafting department.
Yeah.
The first day at work, she told me she needed somewhere to live. She was in a hotel. It was getting too expensive. I said I'd inquire here that night, let her know in the morning.
And when did you see her last?
Yesterday.
Was she all right then? Did she seem frightened, worried about anything?
No.
When yesterday?
I'm sorry?
What time did you see her last, deceased?
About 5:30.
Where?
At the office.
You didn't come home together?
No, we never did. I like to walk. It's only about a mile. Anne would take a bus, I suppose, or the tube. She was always home before me.
Like last night?
Yes. I could hear her when I got in. I mean, I could hear her radio. These walls are like cardboard.
Till what time was the radio on?
I don't know. I wasn't feeling very well last night. I took a couple of pills and dozed off. It must have been 9 o'clock when I fell asleep.
That must have been about the time she went out. Have you any idea where she might have been going?
No.
Or who she might have been going to meet?
No.
Have you left AVL suddenly?
What?
Or is today your day off?
I told you I wasn't feeling well last night. I don't feel very well today. And this news, it hasn't exactly helped.
Your boss. I'd like his name.
I work for a woman.
Anne Finch? But that's impossible.
She's dead, Mrs. Brearley. She was murdered.
Can't believe it. Who'd want to kill a sweet girl like that?
We'd like your assistance, Mrs. Brearley. It could help us to find out.
Miss Dalton, have you got Anne's file?
Yes, it's here.
You handle personnel in this department.
In this department and several others.
What can you tell me about Anne Finch?
She was poised, bright, very AO. Acceptable without reservations. We talked a good deal, I recall, the day she applied. About Ulster. She came from the same area as my father. Lovely girl. This is her file.
Thank you. Anne Finch, Anne Louise, born Belfast, 18th of October, 1946. October the 18th. That was yesterday.
I didn't realize it was her birthday. I don't think any of the girls did.
Education, Elizabeth School, the Leeds Martin College, Belfast. Baccalaureate in Fine Arts. This notation next to parents, Miss Dalton.
It means they're dead. She was quite alone. I remember her saying at the interview, only a few cousin leprechauns and me. That's all that's left of our side of the family.
Mrs. Brearley, this department of yours, drafting, how many girls do you have working for you?
13.
13. I suppose you know them all pretty well.
I like to think so. Mother hen, all that.
And Anne Finch, what was she like?
Oh, an excellent worker.
No, I mean personality. Was she outgoing?
Oh, no, I think reserved would be more the word.
Uh-huh. Did she talk to you about any friends, people outside?
No.
Did you have any special friends here amongst the girls working here?
Well, only one, I'd say. She and Joanna were pretty close friends. They'd have lunch together, go and see a film together after work, that sort of thing. Very close friends. Wouldn't you say, Miss Dalton?
I'd see them leaving together some evenings. Then again, they lived in the same block of flats.
And that's Joanna...
Oh, Hewitt. You'll want to talk to her, I'm sure. But she's away ill today. She telephoned just a few moments before you arrived.
But she never told you about Anne Finch? About what had happened? About the fact that she was dead?
Oh, no.
Did she know?
It wasn't a lie.
What was it then? Look, either they knew one another or they didn't. Now listen, I never met the dead girl. I never met you until today. But before I'm finished, it's going to be like the three of us grew up together. Now then, cinemas, lunches, art galleries with Anne Finch.
Sitting there with your tiny fists clenched in anger. That's better. It's for your own sake, Miss Hewitt, believe me.
We got to know one another. We were friends, Anne and I. I think we shared a bond, in a way. I mean, I didn't know what Anne was running from, but I sensed it was from something.
And what are you running from?
A year ago. A little less. I met this young man at a party. We were having a good time. A very good time. At 12 o'clock, a little later, I said I had to go. He offered to drive me home. We walked to a car. He said it belonged to a friend of his.
It didn't.
No. It was an accident. An old woman was killed. Just outside Exeter. They held a trial. Family influence, whatever. We got off. But I couldn't stay. I had to get away. I came to London. I didn't tell anyone about it. Not anyone at the office, not any of the friends I made. Then, this morning, when you told me that Anne had been murdered, I didn't want to get involved. Newspaper stories, trials. I just didn't want to get involved again.
Oil?
Yeah, it appears to be.
Anything else?
Yeah, there's something else, but I can't make it out yet. We gotta ride a minute.
Riding? So where are you living this week?
Well, I think it's Chelsea.
Still going with that blonde?
Which one?
Beth Campbell, is it?
Oh, she's Beth McDermott now. No.
Ham,
Yo, Brinkley.
results on the oil test.
Not yet, it's coming.
How about the scratches? Anything?
Brinkley, old man, do you happen to know what happens when you mix Urson dye with a bit of plastic and some castor oil residual?
No.
Nail polish.
Embedded in the scratches.
Adam? Where are you?
I'm here, Evie.
Did I browse well?
Yeah, you browsed beautifully. Druids, druids everywhere. What a bloodthirsty lot they were.
Right kinky old bunch. Did you dip into that one on top of your old friend there? Vampires of Scotland, their kith and kin.
Yes, it's not as good as leechdoms and witchcraft, I can tell you that.
Recommended bedside reading.
Yo!
Oh, yeah.
It's a woman, Adam. The killer's a woman.
I got your phone message, Ham. What's all this about castor oil and plastic?
Well, it's nail polish embedded in the scratches.
What flavor?
A cerise laundre.
And the forehead mark, the oil?
Well, it's a combination of olive oil, traces of soot.
Soot?
Yeah, and herb.
Herb?
American for herb.
Herb root. Clayton's checking it out back at the yard.
It could be a potion, couldn't it?
Women, potions, herbs. I hate to sound gothic in this day and age, but we seem to be looking for a witch.
A witch? Come off it, Evelyn.
It's exactly what we are looking for. The druidic female cult, the Sisters of Arania, identified themselves with this symbol, right here. The cult was composed, and I quote, of England's first coven of witches. Their rites were based on human sacrifice. Their victims died in sets of 3.
Witches?
Witches? Now, don't tell me that you dug their existence graves.
Well, the last time my mother-in-law flew into town.
Yeah, well, there you are, is he? A believer. Man alive, there are 30,000 witches in England today. There are 7,000 of them in London alone. And I believe that one of them murdered Anne Finch.
Like a girl named Joanna Hewitt?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. But, have you checked her story?
Well, yes, I've checked with Exeter Police, and that part of the story, well, it still holds up so far. Car theft, manslaughter. But I'm checking it further.
Yeah, but the night that Anne Finch died.
Well, that I don't like. I've just talked to her again today. The same thing. I don't know. I was ill, asleep, ill. But I frightened the bug out of her. She's going back to work tomorrow morning, just to get me off her back, I think.
Oh, drafting department?
Drafting department.
Well, that girl ought to be watched.
Any suggestions?
Yeah, Evelyn. Evelyn McLean, if she's willing.
Yeah, it suits me. Where's your American half?
Sam, he's on his way to Scotland Yard to check with the lab. And me, since we're dealing with witches, I'm going to sprinkle myself with garlic and go straight to the source.
Which is famous broomstick. Ah, the good old days, when we rode on poles in fields over crops, woo, 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 in order to tease them into growing. People loved us then. They'd ask for our help. Witch, what are you doing on Tuesday next? Do you think you could service my watercress? But somehow jealousy began to set in on account of those who couldn't comprehend. They drove us underground deep. But we still exist. We still are. And we are emerging from the shadows again. Because there are still no satisfactory answers to the mysteries of life, of death, of the universe. And because people, young people especially, are more than ever searching for answers to the questions, where have I come from? Why am I here? Where am I going? And because they find these questions unanswerable, they turn this way. And they ask instead to be awed and astonished by phenomena which defy logic and surpass reason. as we will now all turn this way to study my well-known and quite invaluable collection of goat's hooves from Europe, Asia Minor, South America, and Los Angeles, California.
Do you drop the H in your part of America?
What's that?
In herb. Do you pronounce it herb?
Yeah.
But you say Herbert, don't you, again?
Not me. I always say Herbert. What's happening, Herbert? Why the interest?
Off to the States next month. Holiday. Anyway, according to those elements you came up with, that oil analysis, I'd say it was a root herb known as Rolfic.
Grown in England.
Once, a long time ago, called it Rolfith. Now grown only in the South USSR, as far as I can tell.
Oh, that's great.
But you can buy it here in London. There are stores in the Slavic sector where I'm sure it's sold.
You got a list for me?
Yeah. Try these phone books.
Experience in the field would help, naturally. You've had some, I presume.
Well, not in drafting, Miss Dalton. That is, not experience per se, as it were. But, of course, we did touch on the subject of college.
Which college is that?
Well, actually, it was a small art school in Putney, but it was a jolly good school.
What have you got there, Miss McLean?
Bought some drawings to show you. To show you I am an artist. This is a beach.
So I see.
A dog owned by a friend of mine.
Collie?
Yes, sort of. It's called Minnesota, of all things.
Very nice. Well, Mrs. Brearley could certainly use another girl. The salary I quoted is satisfactory, Miss McLean.
Oh, yes, yes.
This all seems to be in good order. Would you sign it, please? Oh, Mrs. Brearley.
Yes, Miss Dalton? Oh, is this a new girl for me?
Yes, this is Evelyn McLean.
Hello.
Well, Miss McLean, so happy to have you with us.
Good morning. Good morning. Come again, all. Good morning. Tell your friends about the museum. Good morning. Goodbye. Goodbye. Blessed be, blessed be. My sixth sense tells me that I fascinate you, sir.
I'm more than intrigued.
Recruiting for a new male coven is being conducted just now at the rear of an empty store on Old Brompton Road. You'll find it next to an establishment where they bake and serve those Italian tomato pies.
Pizza, I believe they're called.
Whatever. Who are you, sir?
Shouldn't you know?
I do, actually, Mr. Strange. It comes to me now.
Amazing.
Perhaps. When I pay 40 shillings for a book on hands, excellent, by the way,
Thank you.
I even read the author's photo on the back jacket, especially when he's attractive. What brings you here, Mr. Strange?
Hands. Druidic. Female side.
You are a student of the early matriarchy.
As of today.
What about the dear ladies? Apart from the fact that they did imbibe a bit too much of the malt and smoked.
Did they now?
Pipes would puff away like furies all through their lovely rites.
You know, Miss Nightingale, I rather like you. Or has your sixth sense told you that much already?
It has. And why shouldn't you? I'm a good witch. Now, you want...
Your help. There was a murder yesterday. A young Irish girl was poisoned. Her body was found in a field near Langham. Nearby, this.
What about it? It's simply a hand and a marking of some sort.
The hand and marking the Sisters of Aurelia, is it not?
A renegade coven. Outsiders, intruders. From near what is now known as Liverpool.
Miss Nightingale, you're evading my question.
Mr. Strange, you are beginning to tire me.
A young girl was murdered.
Young people seem to be getting themselves murdered more and more these days. In this case, a drawing of a hand, happened to be in the vicinity of the body, and so, of course, immediately we are suspected. Good people, good police, good criminologists start hunting us down. And now it is getting late, and I'm getting tired, and the museum is closed for the day.
Miss Nightingale.
Sir, good day.
Here's my card. Can you take it?
Good day.
I conjure thee in the name of Astaroth, of Leviathan, and of Beelzebub. It's marvelous stuff, isn't it?
Hello, chaps.
Hello, how's our working girl?
Absolutely pooped.
Oh, you poor sausage, I'll get you a drink.
Thanks. How was the herb hunting, Ham?
Oh, I tried over a dozen Russian shops. Da, we have no Ralphik today.
Never mind. You'll find it tomorrow.
Why?
Well, you're a Scorpio, aren't you? Astrologically, it was a rotten old day for you. Now, I, a true blue Libra...
Hello?
Is that Adam Strange?
Yes, this is Adam Strange here.
Edna Nightingale here, Mr. Strange. I'm worried, very worried. I have to speak to you. There's something I must tell you. The murdered girl, there will be others. I've spoken to her.
Spoken to...
Though she denies it, they're in the air. 2 more, Mr. Strange.
Spoken to whom, Miss Nightingale?
I can't tell you names, you know that, but they did insist on 3, the sisters of Aurelia. Every 20 years they would sacrifice 3 girls within a fortnight to purge evil and reincarnate beauty. Time passed, the rite was forgotten. But then 20 years ago, exactly this month, at Blakesley-on-Thames, there were...
Miss Nightingale? Miss Nightingale?
No!
Miss Nightingale!
I can't.
Can I speak to Evelyn McLean, please?
Who is it, please?
It's her uncle.
Evelyn, your uncle. Oh, thanks. Hello?
Evie?
Uncle Walter, is that you?
She there, the Hewitt girl?
Yes. Aunt Maud said she was expecting you for supper at 7, prompt.
You getting anywhere?
No. She said she promises it won't be lamb stew.
Now listen, Evie, and listen well. You take care of yourself on this.
You are funny.
You take a taxi after work when you go home, alone. I mean, get friendly, but not too friendly, eh? Meanwhile, I'm heading for Blakesley-on-Thames. I think I've got a lead.
Okay, well, I'll see you then. Oh, and give my love to Aunt Maud, won't you? Bye-bye.
Bye, Evie.
It's my uncle. He's a very eccentric man. It's nice having one's relatives in London, don't you think?
Yes, I suppose.
Have you got any family in London?
No.
Is anything the matter?
I'm fine.
It's awful. That poor girl and what happened to her and everything. It's made everybody in the office very tense. I tell you what, why don't you and I nip out and have a little lunch together today, and I'll bore you with the madly gay details of my boring life and maybe take your mind off this for a bit, hmm?
Well,
Evelyn? Joanna? You all right?
Yes, super. Thank you, Miss Bradley.
Hello, anybody home? Hello, madam.
You want something?
Yes, I was wondering if you have an herb called Ralphic.
Ralphic. Not popular. Few Crimean in London these days. But I carry first-class Ralphic. Sun-dried. How much you want?
None really. I was wondering if you sold any in the past few days. Madam, I can afford a little bit. You did sell some?
Yes.
To a woman? Young?
So.
Blonde?
Cannot see hair under the hat. Cloche. Where's Cloche?
Would you by any chance have her name and address?
Yes. She signs. Everyone comes in signs. So I can send list when the new shipment arrive. Here. Mirella Wadsworth. 1 St. James's Street.
But that's St. James Palace.
All kinds of people like herbs.
Yes, thank you.
No, I wasn't on the force then. But I remember the case, Mr. Strange.
Witchcraft?
Yes. 3 local girls. Poisoned within days. The late Sergeant Shea did quite a job. Oh, excuse me, sir. He got the ringleader. Some hag named Mamie Chapin. They tell me it was quite a sight the day they hung her. She kept hollering. I won't tell you the names of the others. The other 12 witches she meant.
Who do you reckon they were? Villagers?
Well, county ladies, yeah. For all we know, they could have included the child lady who cleans up here, the duchess down the road, or any lady in the town. Would you mind handing me that towel?
And you haven't got a list of suspects in your records?
Oh, maybe Shea had one. I've never run across it. Come to think of it, there was one young lady who I suspected at the time.
Yes? Who is that?
Can't remember her name. Can picture her, though, clear as brookwater. Anyway, she was a mathematics teacher over at the Spence School in town here.
And why did you suspect her, Sergeant?
Because she left her job for London right after the murders. Never heard from or about her since.
Uh-huh.
Yes?
May I come in, Headmaster?
Oh, come in. Yes, of course.
Thank
Come
you.
in, my dear fellow.
Thank
By
you.
all means, come and sit down
Yeah,
over here.
no, I won't sit down
I think
if you'll
find
forgive
it
me. I'm
comfortable.
very
No, but
pushed
I
for time.
insist. There's something I want to say to you. Now then, about your son, Mr. Evans. A diabolically poor scholar, I'm sorry to say. English feeble, maths very shaky, French non-existent.
I'm not a parent, Headmaster.
What?
I'm Adam Strange.
Oh, but of course, yes. You telephoned about that instructress in mathematics.
That's it.
Do you know that was 30 years ago?
20, I think.
Oh, same thing. Decades gathering dust, like myself. Ah, time's winged chariot. Now then, it was her name you want.
Her name?
Yes, exactly. I've made a special note of it. I wrote it. No, not there. And where? I know I still did. Ah, here we are, of course. Yes, I used it as a bookmarker. The history of Europe. Now then, here we are. Wadsworth. Mirella D. Wadsworth.
Wadsworth.
Tenure here 3 years nearly. She left the school for London suddenly. I could never discover why.
Would you have a picture of her anywhere, sir? A photo?
Photo? Mr. Strange, this is an institution of learning, not a theatrical agency.
What about a yearbook?
Ah, good thinking. Yes, of course, in a yearbook. Oh, yes, but that'll take time to get one from the basement. The library is being painted just now, as you see. All the books have been crated, but we could try, can't we?
Yes.
Yeah, now, if you'll just wait here, Mr. Strange, I'll be back presently, if not sooner.
Edith, go. Good night, Sylvia. Oh, very good.
Well,
Yes,
that's
you
what
can
I
go,
call a
Claire.
day's work well done. Have you finished?
Yes, I have. All right, girls?
Yes, fine, thanks.
Have you finished 419?
Yep.
And 420?
Oh, no, was I supposed to?
I'm sorry, Evelyn, but it is urgent. We have a messenger coming to collect it in about 15 minutes.
All right. Well, that's the way it goes. Low girl on the totem pole.
Do you want me to wait for you?
No, it's all right. I'll see you in the morning.
Good night.
Good night.
Now, that wasn't too long, was it, Mr. Strange? Oh, you've lit the lamps. Good. And by the way, you were quite right. I found a photo of all our staff for that year, including the disappearing Miss Wadsworth. Here.
Yes, I see. Can I borrow your telephone?
Oh, please do.
How do I get the operator?
You simply dial 9 and hope. Do you recognize her?
Yes, I do.
Number, please.
Operator, I want a call to London, please. Personal to Miss Evelyn McLean.
Sorry, the lines are busy.
The lines are busy. Well, would you clear one of them, please? This is an emergency call.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought everybody had gone home.
It isn't the right time of day to ask, I know. But are you enjoying the job?
Well, actually, it's a very good time to ask. I'm finished, finally, and wealthy with overtime.
The messenger will be along.
Do I have to wait for it?
Oh, no. Just leave it in that envelope.
Right.
Well, good night.
Good night, Miss Dalton.
Miss McLean, I don't want to take any more of your time, but your sketches, the ones you showed me yesterday, they're really quite good.
Thank you very much.
And I was wondering, do you paint at all?
Oh, yes.
Portraits?
Especially portraits.
You see, I have a niece, the loveliest little girl. And for Christmas, I was thinking of commissioning someone to... Oh, dear, it is getting late. I know, why don't we talk in the car? You do live in Maida Vale?
Yes, I do.
It's a little further than I go, but I'd be glad to drop you off first. And then we can chat about the painting. I mean, if you're interested.
Yes, indeed. Shall I just put it here by the telephone?
Yes, that's all right. Is this your coat?
Yes, thank you.
Shall we go? We'll leave the lights on for the messenger.
I see. All right. Then put me through to Scotland Yard.
Scotland Yard?
That's right, Scotland Yard.
This is super. I think so, too. Wait a minute and I'll get the photo. I thought it might be a good idea for you to see what she looked like before meeting her.
Yes, that's a very good idea.
Oh, I am rude, aren't I? I mean, you're probably in a rush, I'm in a rush. But would you like to come in anyway, see the flat, have a drink? Don't you think a hot toddy would be nice on such a cold night?
Yes, okay.
Here we are. I hope I haven't been too long.
No. They smell very good. I think you put a little bit more rum in than just that much.
Just a drop. Well now, cheers.
Cheers. It's delicious.
Good. And now the photo. But first, I've got a little present for you.
Present?
This is for you, Evelyn.
What a lovely box. What is it?
Open it and see. It's your birthday.
Let me have every detail, Graves.
Right, Superintendent.
Every detail.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I will.
Well, any word yet?
Well, we've dispatched men to the area where Anne Finch's body was found. Well, all right, probably the woman won't go back there, but we've got to make a start somewhere.
What about Adam?
He's heading back to London. We're in touch by car radio.
What do you want from me now?
Brinkley?
Knows nothing, she says. Like she's never heard of Miss Dalton.
I didn't say that. I said I didn't know about her private life, what she does before, after work.
Have you ever been here before, Miss Hewitt? This place? This room?
No.
You sure?
I'm sure. Now, please let me go. You had no right to bring me here in the first place.
Miss Hewitt, Miss Dalton is with Evelyn McLean now.
No, that's impossible.
Is it? Do you recognize this bag? It's the one she had with her at work today. Now, isn't it?
Please help us, Miss Hewitt, please.
I can't.
Where has Miss Dalton taken her? Look, I'll do anything I can for you after this, but please help me. Help Evelyn, please.
I didn't realize the other night how far she'd go. With Anne, I didn't know there'd be... Miss Dalton only said 3 birthdays in 2 weeks' time. We must celebrate them properly, properly. The first would end in the caravan at Tompkins Heath. The second would be at the old tower, Ardsley Green.
Okay, again, let's go. Stay with the Brink. I want to talk to Strange. Okay, let's go.
Oh, queen of all magics, great mother of us all, adore, cherish, nurture.
Where is she? Out there in the woods? Tell me, where?
Nothing. I've forgotten all. Forgotten all.
Answer me!
Not the torture! Not the torture! My mothers and my sisters have felt the nails, the knives, the water's drowning us! But not I! Not I! I have forgotten! Forgotten!
20 years ago, in Blakesley, those 3 girls. Have you forgotten them?
Yes, yes.
Their names,
yes.
their faces, do they mean nothing to you now?
Nothing.
Anne
Nothing.
Finch. Have you forgotten her?
Nothing.
Then think of Edna Nightingale. Yes, Edna Nightingale. Screaming up at you through the flames, night after night after night. You hunted down. You persecuted. You tortured one of your own. And she will never let you go. Never, never. Chase you to the ends of your rotten conscience.
She knew we had to do it.
Haunting you for all eternity to come.
You knew we had to do it.
Tell me. Tell me.
One of us.
Tell her where.
Lord. Lord.
Where? Where? Where?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Evie! Evie! Evie!
There's still time, ma'am.
And the second night in hospital, I had the most ghastly dreams about you, Ham.
Oh, thanks a lot.
There you were at the airport, preparing to go back to America and leave us, flat.
Oh, someday I will go home, quit the museum, archaeology, send goodbye cards to the 114 landladies in London, dust off Adam's lab and go home. A man's got to go home sometime.
Ham Gint may sometime be a long way off. Evelyn McLean, welcome back. Not a minute too soon either, eh? There you are. And a belated but very happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Mwah.
Which you two completely forgot about.
Yeah, I'll never dare to again, will I? Come on now, light your candles.
Come on.
No, you like them,
All right.
and I'll blow them out.
Oh, superstitious.
Me? Never. Not even after, you know what. All right, then go on, I'll say it. I've got a right to. Not even after those blasted would-be witches.
Would be.
Yes, would be. Now, come on, Adam. Don't tell me you think there's anything real about them.
Oh, I don't know. They make you wonder, don't they? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio. Oh, I'm sick of broomsticks. Come on, Ham, lights.
Lights.
There's a birthday girl. Now then, big breath.
Oh.
Ready? 1, 2.